Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for joining the webinar. This afternoon, I'm going to be introducing the idea of how you can improve your productivity to increase your profits without the awkward conversations. And that will all become very apparent as we work through the slides that I'm going to show you this afternoon. This is the first of a series of webinars that we'll be doing every week, leading up to showing you the Leadership and Management Development Programme that Alluxi is launching in September of this year in Kent. So let's start. I will share my screen with you. Productivity to profit without the awkward conversations. What is that about? First of all, I thought I'd give a bit of an introduction as to who are Alluxi Consulting Limited. Alluxi is a Latin verb. It means to give or supply light, to shine light upon, or to show the opportunity. And figuratively, that is what we at Alluxi do when we work with the business owners in their businesses. We throw the light on the opportunity for the improvement that exists within your business. And very often it's difficult for the business owner themselves to see what the detail is in the business when they can't see the wood for the trees. And the way I describe it is that bringing in expertise from outside to bring in that fresh pair of eyes is basically the price of light. The cost of having that consultant is less than the cost of darkness, as you never know what we might uncover and how much that might benefit your business. I'm Linda Garcia. I'm a business productivity specialist, and I'm the director and founder of Alluxi Consulting, which was set up in 2015. Alluxi works with ambitious business owners to optimise the productivity of your existing resources to maximise your profitability and therefore the future sustainability of your organisation. And looking at productivity to profit without the awkward conversations, I would also call that the Great British Productivity Swindle. In recent years, we've been witnessing the UK coming out of quite a heavy recession, which was started at the back end of the 2009-2010 by the whole banking industry basically going bust. And at the Royal Bank of Scotland, CEO Ross McEwan admitted the public were right in saying that the 421 million bonus payments were outrageous after 7 straight years of losses, 7 straight years of losses. Here we're starting to see how even the biggest corporate businesses in industry don't always get it right. That was then followed by what I like to refer to as Tesco Gate, the retail reality, where Paul Mason from Channel 4 described it took a whistleblower to do what no auditor, director or regulator had done, and Tesco's profits were being inflated by accounting practices that did not reflect reality. He went on to further say if a few more people had been confrontational at an early stage, instead of conforming to the polite insider culture that dominates the British corporate culture, this might look less like the giant mess it has become. So why do we need to focus on productivity? The Bank of England shows that the growth has been derived from hours worked rather than efficiency. And further, employees are producing no more per hour than a decade ago. That is extremely worrying for businesses who are paying, and then normally the highest cost is in salaries. This isn't just happening at the big corporate level. The Chartered Management Institute carried out a survey and a research based on the pay of 70,000 managers. That survey showed that a third of underperforming bosses were awarded bonuses. Too many managers are reaping the rich rewards of their positions despite being poor performers. And they concluded that it seems a lot easier to reward poor performance than to face the awkwardness of having difficult conversations with underperforming staff. And this is one of the key issues that we face today insofar as managers and executives and business owners haven't got the skills or haven't got that comfort to be able to front poor performance straight on. ACAS, locally in the UK, also have shown that poor performance was raised as an issue in 9 out of 10 disciplinary meetings or disciplinary hearings, including things like failing to meet work targets, inadequate quantities of work, inaccurate work, wasting work materials, poor customer service, and even failure or refusal to follow instructions and unwillingness to take responsibility. All of these issues can be put down to how people are being managed and how their expectations are being set. Moving on from that, and let's talking about the way that employees work and reinforcing that why we need to focus on productivity. Another survey carried out by salary.com of 750 employees showed that 88% admitted to wasting time at work. And this is what they're admitting to. Of that 750 employees, or that 88%, 47% estimated that to be more than 1 hour a day, or 12.5% of their working time. That is a significant proportion. And the question would be, why is it that they are admitting to wasting that time? And many people perceive that the employee would be not motivated because of their salaries and the lack of money that they're receiving, or that they're not being paid enough. But in fact, the top reasons given were that 53% think that short breaks increase productivity. Now, there is some truth to that, but the question would be what they perceive to be short breaks. 35% are bored or lack motivation or are dissatisfied with their job. And only 2% think that they're not paid enough. So here we see that the key problems are how the employee is being motivated and driven to want to do a better job in the workplace. So the reality is, managers are not trained in setting expectations or motivating employees to perform adequately. The managers lack the skills to challenge poor performance, and the business doesn't always provide adequate management systems to work objectively. Added to this, if the business doesn't have the correct KPIs, that's the key performance indicators, to monitor performance, so it therefore can't manage performance. I have an old saying that if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And some of you may have seen that in the blogs that I've been putting through my website. This means that the employees don't know what is expected of them, and so their perception of what is good performance or good productivity may be completely different and misaligned to what the business would want them to be achieving. And ipso facto, they don't know whether they're productive or not. And that means that on your bottom line, you are losing money. So what is the cost of this to your business? Well, if we take the cost to company of the average UK salary being £28,000, there's also a level of employer on costs such as national insurance contributions, the auto-enrolment pensions, the cost of actually keeping the employee in the business, such as your software licenses. That brings the total cost per year to about £35,000. So taking that as an average, the cost to your business is a minimum of £4,375 if we take that 1 hour that the employees admit to wasting every day as an example. If you've got 10 employees in your business, that is then multiplying up to being just over £40,000, and so on, depending on how large your organisation is. With 25 employees, that could be costing you over £100,000 a year in that lost time and wasted time. And that's just what the employee has admitted to. In my years of experience and observing in the field, I have seen that lost time or pacing or lack of management can produce up to 20 or 30% of the employee's working day as being underutilised or underproductive. So if you've got 100 employees in your business, that could be costing you over £400,000 a year. In the UK, that lack of productivity is estimated to be costing the country £19 billion a year. So let me offer you some solutions as to how you could reap the rewards and yield better productivity out of those workers without those awkward conversations. The Alluxi solution is, if you wish to improve your net results, your profitability, there's only one thing in your business that you can make a difference with, and that is the behaviour of the people working within your teams and your staff. Behaviour change, doing something differently, is the only way to change the results. And there's a two-pronged approach as to how to manage and create that behaviour change. The first one is by the systems that you are using and building in your business, the frameworks, the structures, the working methods, the process flows, everything that you give to people to help them make the best job that they can. So you're giving them the tools and the techniques to be as productive as you would like them to be. But there's no point just implementing systems if the staff aren't engaged and don't understand what those systems are doing for them or what is expected of them. And that requires the second prong of training. And I use training in the loosest sense of the word. Training can be facilitating, coaching, mentoring, one-on-one, teaching them how to do the job and demonstrating to them visibly how the best practice is in the business so that you can then generate that behaviour change and increase your profits. So the way that I would like to help you in your businesses today is to demonstrate the Leadership and Management Development Programme that Alluxi Consulting is launching in September of this year. This is a recognised programme by the Chartered Management Institute, which delivers the theory that you need to put into practice in your businesses to allow you to start to develop and manoeuvre the productivity levels to where you would like to see them. The programme offers a complete package which is designed to deliver the skills and competencies that are required of you, the business owner, your executives, or anybody out there that is a manager of a team, to optimise the productivity, the resource performance and the people engagement in the business. Here in the UK, we are notoriously bad at training and upskilling our managers to lead teams and to actually get other people to do the work, which essentially is what the definition of a good manager is. So if applied in practice, the theory and interactive exercises that are demonstrated throughout the programme will deliver measurable levels of productivity, a culture of continuous improvement, objective, fair and factual management, which all translates to the bottom line financial profit improvement for your organisation. The programme is delivered in a series of 6 sessions, and I apologise for the changes in the ink. That should all be the same colour. That will be corrected before the next session. 6 sessions, roughly 2 to 3 hours each, which would then be delivering you 18 hours of CPD over the course of the programme. The sessions are 2 weeks apart, so fortnightly, because at the end of each session, you are given the tools and the information that you need to go away and start applying that directly into your work environment and your own habits as a manager or a business owner. And then at the next session, we come back and we review the progress that you've made and the changes that you've made to see that you are starting to apply that theory into the practice. So as a brief overview, session 1, we start to look at what is the benefit of systems and training to give you that productivity plus, the boost that you need in your business. Session 2 then moves on to define what is a manager? What does a manager need to do to actually ensure that their teams are achieving and engaging to maximise their performance in the area? In session 3, we then move on to understand what the principles of performance management are. What are the requirements in the business so that we can come into session 4 and start to design and apply effective management control systems. So looking at the different elements that are required in the business, the forecasting, the planning, how are you controlling and monitoring your people on a regular basis? How are you reporting? What is your reporting telling you? And we then need to move on from that to define as a person and as a leader, what are the effective styles and management techniques that you need to use? Because let's face it, dealing with people, you are dealing with individuals. Everybody is different and they might need to be managed in different ways. And you have to understand how that your styles can be influencing the way that different people work. So that's all described in session 5. And in session 6, we bring it all together and we describe what is effective communication and what are action meetings, what is an effective meeting, and applying those key people management skills in driving action and commitment forward to ensure that you generate that culture of continuous improvement. The benefits of the program, obviously, we're going to be demonstrating and you will be putting into practice how that will be measuring the levels of performance, and you will see measurable differences in the levels of performance in your business if you apply all of the theory into the practice. It will create a culture of continuous improvement within your organisation. You will receive your own copy of the Alluxi toolbox, and being recognised by the Chartered Management Institute, every participant on the programme will be entitled to 1-year membership at affiliate level of the CMI. That will then deliver you a complete record and learning or monitoring of your CPD, networking opportunities and benefits, participation in the CMI Achieve mentoring program, and most importantly, you will have 12 months access to the CMI's Management Direct online library and resource centre. So that in itself is quite a valuable little package. And you will also be awarded the CMI Certificate of Attendance, awarded on completion of the programme. I'm Linda Garcia. It's been a pleasure to present to you this afternoon. I hope you found that useful and informative. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you in the near future.